Hello, all my dear students. This is Mrs. Numaira Zahid, and in this lesson, we are going to learn about Boyle's law and how can we apply Boyle's law. So let's find out what kind of relation is Boyle's law. This law is actually relating volume and pressure of a gas. How can we relate volume and pressure of a gas? It says that the volume of a gas is always in inverse relation with the pressure. So according to Boyle's law, the pressure and volume of a gas are in inverse relation. It means if pressure increases, the volume decreases. And when pressure decreases, the volume increases. So in an inverse relationship, whenever one quantity increases, the other decreases in the same proportion. So there is an indirect proportion, or there is an inverse relation between pressure and volume of a gas. This is actually applicable to most of the gases in ideal situations. So when we talk about the third condition, which is temperature, as we know that for our gas, there are three important quantities which we discussed, that is pressure, volume, and temperature. Here we are maintaining a condition that pressure and volume are inversely related to each other, provided the temperature is kept at constant value. Okay, if the temperature is kept constant, the pressure of a gas is inversely related to its volume. Whenever we replace a proportionality with the sign of equality, we put a constant value. Okay, so P is equal to K over V. If the constant is 1, then we can write it as PV is equal to K, which can be equal to 1. Okay, so here we can find out that pressure and volume are in inverse relation. Let's find out how can we apply this law. So application of Boyle's law can be understood by this given situation. It is given that the pressure of a gas is 2 atmospheres. Okay, you need to find out the volume of a gas. Okay, if the initial pressure of the gas is 2 atmospheres and initial volume of the gas is, let's say, 22 cubic decimeter, right? So pressure changes to 4 atmospheres, what happens to the volume of the gas? Okay, if this is the situation, we need to find out the final volume. Here, these are the initial states and these are the final states. So whenever we talk about a system has its initial states as well as its final states. So in order to simplify, or in order to apply Boyle's law in this situation, we are going to prove that P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. It means the initial conditions should be equal to final conditions, and if the pressure, the initial pressure is 2 atmospheres, it will be multiplied by the volume, and the pressure, which is the final pressure, will be multiplied by V2. Now we can find out that 22 into 2 divides 4 is equal to V2. So you can calculate V2 by simplification. And this is 11 cubic decimeter. It means when the pressure is increased, the volume is decreased. So by increasing pressure, pressure increased from 2 to 4 means it doubles, and volume becomes 22 to 11. It means if you double the pressure, if you increase the pressure twice, the volume will be reduced to half. Okay, so here the pressure is increased twice, and here the volume is decreased by half. Okay, so this is how pressure and volume are related to each other, and this is how we can use Boyle's law to find volume as well as pressure. Let's take another example. And in this example, we are going to find out the pressure. If it is given that the initial pressure of a gas is 4 atmospheric pressure and initial volume is 22 cubic decimeter. Find the final pressure if the volume becomes 11 cubic decimeter. Okay, this is the similar example. I'm giving this example in relation to the previous one. So here we need to find out the pressure, which is the final. Here, these are the initial states of the system, and these are the final states of the system. And here we are talking that temperature is kept as constant. Okay. So according to Boyle's law, volume and pressure are inversely related. So PV is equal to K. Similarly, if P1 V1 is equal to K and P2 V2 is equal to K, then we can find out P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2 is absolutely correct. Here, the pressure, initial pressure is 4 and initial volume is 22. On the other hand, the final pressure is to be found out and the volume reduces to 11 cubic decimeter. How can we find the final pressure? When we multiply 22 by 4, it gets 88. And this 11 will divide it, and we are able to find the final pressure will become, final pressure should be 8 atmospheres. Getting it? So here 11 1 times, 11 8 times. So here we are getting the final pressure as 8 atmospheres. In this way, we can use Boyle's law to solve our numerical problems. Thank you. If you have liked this video, you can share it with your friends. Thank you.